Fantastic stash. I'm up at the northern beaches, out chasing Tailor. I brought my old Laguna X out of retirement after making some repairs. I'd recently snapped off the tip of the rod by closing a door on it a few months ago. I've had it for a few more sessions since then after I put a new tip on it. I obviously did a pretty average job because I lost the tip again. Luckily I brought down a second rod just in case because I didn't really trust it. It's a pretty light rod for this type of fishing though. I had my 1 to 3 kilo Veritas. I brought it out to flick out some bucks and whatnot. When I'm talking about bucks, I'm talking about buckabous. So I've been using these a lot lately for chasing flatties, but they're also great off the beach. This is a 10 gram one. And I'm basically casting next to some reef and then just giving it these hard flicks. So a light rod like this with medium action is good because you don't get the line twist and you can really do those hard flicks. There's a lot of whitebait at the moment which you can see the Tailor are chasing and they're sort of jumping out of the water, so I'm using a white buckaboo with a few little yellow flashes on it which really mimics the whitebait. So having a light rod like this means that you can give those really hard flicks. So here I'll let it sink for a little bit, wind in, and as I'm winding in, whack, 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 just to make it look like it's either an injured or a fleeing bait fish. And it was on. A lot of fun on the light rod. Really got to muscle them out. It's pretty low tide and a lot of reef around, so I just got to be careful where I'm directing it. Holding the rod down nice and low because there's no seaweed as well once I've got it over the top of the reef. Good thing about these light rods is there's so much flex in the actual rod, so you can be a little bit less forgiving with having a tighter drag because the rod will take a lot of the pressure. Lovely Tailor. He was about low 40s, 42, 43, beautiful. After things died down a little bit, I continued to make my way up the beach. Just walking from reef to reef and then flicking around. Ooh. Here I had a really nice hit. Particularly on a light rod, you can really tell the difference between hitting reef or getting a fish. Unfortunately, the Tailor must have taken me right over some gnarly reef, or it could have been a school of Tailor because I got it snapped or bitten off right up close to the leader knot, which is a pain because you'd have to tie on your new leader. So rather than doing that, I decided to change over to the reel that I had on my other rod just because I only had about 10-15 minutes left of fishing time before I had to get back to the fam. So I chucked on the 3000 reel I've got here. I think it was 10 pound braid and 20 pound leader, so it's a little bit heavier leader, which in this spot was probably not a bad idea given I just got either reefed or bitten off. I then chucked on one of the old school classic little metals just because I thought I was going to lose lures. I wouldn't mind using one of these. So the old Savage Gear missile, I think this one was either 18 or 21 gram, so a little bit heavier for the usually than flicking on this type of rod, but if you lob them and the wind's not too bad, it doesn't really matter. This spot looked really fishy as well, so I definitely wanted to cast right close to the reef too. On straight away. He flicked out the lure just as I was pulling him up. Lucky I was able to save him. I wanted to keep a few fish for a feed, which I'm going to put in this video a bit later. He's a lot smaller than the other one, but still size. I think he was about mid-30s or low 30s, 33, 34, something like that. So I quickly dispatched him. So brain spike and then cut behind the gills. Let it bleed, give him a bit of a rinse and chuck him straight on the ice. In this process I bloody dropped my rod into the sand, so I used my last little bit of water to rinse off the sand so I don't have problems down the track. I wanted to get back out there quickly while the school was still around. I could still see the bait flicking up closer to the reef, so I knew there was something still chasing it. This one hit it really close. Good fun. Bit more size to him too. Just battling to make sure I wasn't going to get reefed in that reef just to the left of me. I'm glad I put on the heavier reel by luck. Beautiful. Good size on this one. Perfect. It's going to make a good catch and cook for this fella. Beautiful fish. Pity these lures are discontinued, but they work great if you can get your hands on them. So I had one final flick for a bit of luck before I had to pack away. On straight away. Just a little tacker, so it's time to go home.
Hey, Ann.
So I was going to make a nice catch and cook. You could see the difference between that big chunky 50 compared to the 40. Big shoulders on him. So I was going to make fish tacos. It turned out they were going to be sort of mega fish tacos because they're a lot bigger. So I split up my dough into 9 different parts. After letting it sit for about 20 minutes, I flatten it out with a roller and sort of just try to stretch it out. These were then fried in a pan with a little bit of spray oil. For the salsa, just tomato, onion, a bit of cucumber and coriander, then lemon juice, white vinegar and a little bit of olive oil. A key point here is to make sure that you don't have any of the pulp from the cucumber or the tomato in here, otherwise it goes a bit soggy. Simple breading, so I'm just doing milk mixed with an egg and then panko crumbs. To the milk mix I've just added salt, pepper and a bunch of Cajun seasoning as well. I've then stripped up the Tailor fillets and taken off all the red meat, and then I've just quickly breaded them and chucked them into the air fryer. If I was going to do it again, I probably wouldn't use the air fryer because it went a little bit dry, but I just had heaps of sauce, so it was fine. So frying it's probably the best way. I'd probably just fry it in sunflower oil if I was doing it again. So I chucked it into the air fryer, preheated it, a bit of spray oil, went for 8 minutes at 190. I then used a bit of chipotle sauce and sour cream and mixed that up with a little bit of lemon juice. Beautiful. Now it's just assembling. A few Tailor fillets, a bit of salsa, some of that sauce. That was pretty much it for my wife's one. And for my one, I added a few little extra spices to make it a little bit more hot. So after adding the salsa, I added a few sliced jalapeno, and then I poured it over with hot sauce. As you can see, I got the dodgy looking one as well. It's pretty hard to try and get the soft tacos to be round. First time sort of making them. It was bloody delicious though. Thanks for watching. For more catch and cook Tailor videos, please subscribe. Feel free to ask any questions in the comment section.